The most awkward changeover. Nah, I'm being silly. Right here next to me is Kilo from 2K Management, the 5K label, coming up with the most majestic entrance. Got my guy Mo. Yeah, again. And these two are brothers. These guys, I wanted to talk to them today because I believe that they're the future of the music industry. They've made some incredible moves already. And like Cookie said before about building empires, these guys are doing exactly that. So welcome. Can we have a round of applause for Kilo and Mo?
How's everyone doing? Yeah, that's better. How's everyone doing? Is everyone good? Cool.
So
Yeah.
so is this it? Is this the team today?
This is 5K. J5, I think he came, but he said he had to sort something. As artists do.
You invite J5 to a studio. What's he gonna do? He's probably in one of the rooms making a hit or something.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to do this? Should we talk about like how it all started with 2K first?
Yeah.
Because you guys have got a lot to your names in terms of what you've achieved and what you're doing right now. So let's start with 2K. Like, how did you guys come together to do management?
Should I start?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're brothers. We started Jay Huss. Basically, is my primary school friend. That I grew up with in Stratford. Basically, I think I was in uni, so I was in went to Portsmouth Uni, and then I was basically in my second year of uni, and we literally every summer would like just be doing the same shit every summer, just sitting in the car. When I used to come back, just sit in the car and just talk about girls, and just chat a load of stuff. And I think it was like the second summer. I remember we was just there thinking like, yo, listen, like what are we gonna do with our lives? Because I think it was at a point where like being black and being like from Stratford, there was a few people like starting to like play football, a few artists that were kind of making money from the area. So it was like, bro, like, yeah, I think it was like 18. He was like, yo, we need to do something. So he was just like, yo, so like, what can we do in it? Like, what can I do? And I was like, yo, bro, you might as well just do music, man. You might as well rap. Like, he used to like, you know how like everyone used to kind of like have a track. Like I had a track in the studio, and everyone was just gassed like making music and stuff. But he was actually freestyling. Like he was actually really good. So I was just like, bro, like I think this is it. And I think at the time, I went to like a uni show, and like Sneak Bowl was there performing, Timbo, and I think that was a time where like, everyone was doing a lot of club shows. So like I was kind of seeing it like, yo, like this is looking lit. Like he had like everyone going crazy, and I think I went up to the promoter and was like, yo, bro, like how much did he get paid for the show? And he was like £300, and I was like, whoa, £300 for 20 minutes. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Like we need to, yeah. So that was kind of like the reason why I was like, yo, I think we can do music. And then that was, yeah. And then obviously Kilo was in Portsmouth as well. And at the time, like J5 was kind of charging for studio time. It's like £20 here, £20, £20, £20. Videos were like 300. Obviously student loan at the time was how I was funding it. And then I think Kilo was the only person with a full-time job. So I kind of like, yo, bro, like, we need some help, basically. And then, yeah, then obviously, I know Kilo's got.
Yeah, I still haven't got my money back from these guys. But yeah, I think the main thing that got me involved with Huss is I think it was, I don't know if it was just before the 2012 Olympics or just after, and then he's called me up. He's like, oh yeah, like we're doing music, and I just want to change my life. And I think it was that statement that made me be like, you know what, like he's always in and out of trouble. So it's like for someone saying that they want to change their life, I can't just be like, change it. Then I was like, if I can help where I can, it wasn't like crazy amounts of money. I did it within my means. So like £200 for a video, contribute whatever towards studio. And then, luckily, like, it went into the direction it did.
What did you guys study?
Civil engineering.
That's got nothing to do with music.
Nothing. I've not used nothing to do with civil engineering ever since I left.
So how did you, as two young guys, like you found an artist that you rate and you believe in, and he convinced you that he wanted to turn his life around. Like, how did you figure out what a manager does or what a management team does? Like, what was the learning?
Yeah, I think it was like kind of like helping out a friend more to like, because obviously at the time he was on the roads and wasn't really doing anything like positive. So it was like he would always come to us. Like, obviously I knew everyone from like the road and that, but I was kind of like the guy that went to uni, and like, I used to drive as well. So like he'd always come to me like when it's time to like
Be sensible.
like kind of thing like. So it was like, oh, let's just like we'll just help you out, and just see how it like. I don't think we knew anything about management really. It was just like it turned into like by speaking to people. We did loads of meetings. Met obviously you, Joe, Caroline, Domi, a few people that we spoke to, and was like, I think someone from SBT,
Isaac, yeah.
He was like, oh guys, like I think you should start a management company, and like, and that's what really started it. But at the time it was like just going with the flow, like just
we didn't know. I remember at one point we was both in the kitchen, and I think Huss had released a video on Link Up TV, and we went on like all the radio stations that we knew of and scrolled to the bottom to the contact us bit and emailed all the emails that we saw in the description at the bottom, and just put like a brief like, oh, this is our artist, he's put out a new video on Link Up TV, this is his Instagram, whatever, anything, like just anything to help push it really.
You got an artist who is uncompromising. He's in that point where he's trying to leave the streets, and it's always a difficult. I've seen it with hundreds of other artists. There's some that don't leave; they just end up trapped in it, doing the same thing again and again. They go missing for 6 months, and then come back. No, back on the music thing, and then they go missing for 6 months because they can't let it go, right? But you guys, you've come out of university. You've got a guy that you believe in, and there's no guarantee that it's gonna work. There's the only thing you've got is belief, right? What was the point where it was like, you know what, this might work? What was the point where you guys were like, you know what, we could actually make a go of this?
I think it's probably the first thing that we've done together. Everything that we've done has been like, oh, I'm doing this little venture. He's done, like, he started his clothing line. But this thing is like, we just had each other's backs. Like, there's times where he might not be so motivated to do something, and then I don't even need to ask him. I just naturally know, okay, yeah, he's having one of those days. I'll just take the lead here. And same for me. There's days where it's good and bad, because there's days where I know I could actually afford to just be like, I'm done. But I know he's just going to cover where I lack, and it's the same for him. I think it's just that motivation, and just, I think from early, whatever I was doing, my full-time job at the time was, I was working in EE. And
phone company.
Yeah, I was working.
Was it a phone shop, or was it like?
Yeah, the phone shop.
Really?
Yeah. So I was doing like some sales. Some people say scamming, but like, yeah, I was doing a lot of that in the shop. But I did allegedly, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I did it while I was in uni. So I got a part-time job while I was in uni in EE at T-Mobile at the time. And then T-Mobile Orange, then EE. But then when I finished uni, I think Mo was in his second year. Then I thought, you know what, I'll stay an extra year doing full-time, because I was doing good commission-wise. And I just said, you know what, let me stick around. Like, I kind of just see over how, because I've been in Portsmouth, I could see it can get a bit rough sometimes. So I just stayed an extra year to work and just be around. To be honest, it's just like, I don't think we ever went into anything without being. I'm a strong believer in God, and it's like, I've believed that, yo, if you've put me here, I need to do my best. I don't know if, even to this day I say, I don't know if music might be the thing that makes me successful in life, but whatever I've been putting, I'm just gonna put everything into and see where it takes us.
You doing all right?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. Like, we don't do much talks because I really believe like we still haven't done enough. Like, just sitting down and hearing other people's conversations. Sometimes it's like, I understand people wanna, like, it's only because of you, really. Because if not, there's so many times we turn it down because like I don't want to talk on the little that we've done.
Yeah, and look, the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys today, and the reason, like, you know, yeah, I kind of used my favorite credit rating, like, guys, you should do this today, is because, now, honestly, I see the moves that you're making, and I've seen some of the things that you've been through, and you've made a considerable amount of moves in such a short space of time, and I know how this industry is, and I know where you're going to be in it, like 5, 10 years, 20 years from now. So I think this is a real privilege for everybody watching. This is a privilege for everybody in the room, because like you said, you don't do this very often. So yeah, man, this is the journey so far, innit? Yeah. Like, we've all got high standards, like me included. Like, I don't like doing these things neither. In fact, I was asked to do it. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm talking to Cookie instead. So it's like, and let me talk to 5K as well. They're popping. They're doing things. But as 2K, you know, as a management company, like, who are some of your clients, past and present?
So Hush, J5.
It's one of the biggest producers right now. Many hit singles, defining the face of UK rap and Afrobeats.
We've got. You know,
so I gotta do it. I gotta do this, innit?
So I don't know what to say. I'm like, oh, thanks, bro. But like, yeah. We got some new artists that we're developing called NSJ Mali. We've got another producer called Levi Lennox. Ayo is another producer that we've got. We had Young T and Bugsy recently, but not anymore. Missing anyone?
Yeah, Still Ashley.
Still Ashley, yeah.
EY, another producer, and Ash, who was part of the Lotto Boys.
How old are you guys?
I'm 32.
I'm 27.
I mean, that's mad young. Management company is looking after that many people. It's massive achievement. I know you're gonna be like judging yourselves like that. We got, you know, I get it, innit? We all want the bag, we all want the platinum and everything else. But yo, you got a very dope roster of producers and artists right there. Like,
I love, bro.
Thank you, man.
Defining the sound of the UK and everything. Look at these guys being humble, man. Jeez. So you then made a transition from not only just being a management company to being a label as well. What's the difference?
It's a big, like, since starting the label, I haven't argued with him so much ever in my life.
Yeah, I don't think we ever agree.
Yeah,
like, if we ever agree, then boy, that's a moment.
Yeah, that's where we know. This must be correct if we're both agreeing on it. But I think it even to a point, Mike's, I don't know if he's here, our general manager at 2K, he is literally the referee of everything. Like, we've got a group chat where that's where all conversations happen, and then Mike's will decide, okay, Kilo,
this makes sense.
This is right. Mo, this is right. But the reason, like, even to a point where I'm like, hey, I might just go over to management, you know, you enjoy your label. But Mike's was also the same person that'll say to us, like, no, because you lot are arguing for the same goal. You lot want to be successful. It's just that some might think of doing it a more creative way, while some will go with maybe a more safe or a financially stable way. But it is a lot. It's a big difference because it's, I don't know. There's a lot more factors when it comes to a label. Like, it's a lot more cutthroat because now you're spending your own money. Yeah. So there's, I don't know. It's tough. I won't pretend like it's easy, but I feel like we're getting there.
Yeah, I think for management, it's like you're with your artist every day. You're doing shows, doing this, and you're just with your artist and you're just doing what's best, obviously, for your artist. But
And it's good when it's good.
yeah. It's good when it's good. You know what I mean?
It's bad
and
when
it's
it's
bad
bad.
when it's really bad. Like yo, but on the label, there's a lot more factors of like, yeah, cool. Like this is obviously a business as well. You've got staff, you've got so many costs. Like it's just like it's crazy.
I think that's the biggest difference for me and the label. 2K is kind of built of friends and family. Like, I don't think there's only one person that works at 2K that we haven't known for like over 10 years. While the label is like the whole hiring process, and for me, it was I'd sitting on the other side and asking questions. Like going through stuff is difficult because I'm easily won over. So someone will say, "Oh, I've been watching your journey. I love everything." I'm like, "Oh yeah, man. You know what? How much?"
Yeah.
But it's like, and to the point where Mo's like, "Yeah, you're not making decisions on hiring anymore," and I have to respect it. I'm like,
yo, Kilo, calm down, man. She only, calm down.
Yeah. After one meeting, you could have
But
a
I
job
think-
at 5K.
But yeah, I think that's another thing that, like, for Max, for example, like we've known for like since I was probably like 10, 12 or younger. So like I feel like sometimes it doesn't work because
Is Max here?
yeah, he's there.
Yeah, come up, man.
And then sometimes it's like, you know what?
Yeah, the ref.
And then sometimes like we've all got the same passion, like we all want to win. And it's not just a job. It's not just a job to him. It's like, yo, like this is us. Like, do you know what I mean?
Okay, so 2K is the management company, 5K is the label.
Yeah.
Moyo 27, Kilo you're 32. How old are you, Max?
30.
And you're the general manager.
Yeah.
Yo, it really is a new day, like seriously, because, for the music that you represent, and it's like we've done a lot today about where it's going, and we talked, about where it came from and everything else. Again, it's like you guys are the future. You guys are building an empire, and I just wanted people to get to see what you're doing because you got your heads down working. Like you're on the graft, you're doing the thing. What was the hardest lesson you've learned of doing a label? Because everybody thinks it's easy. Everybody wants to be an A&R. Everybody wants to pose for the gram and have a press release or something every 2 weeks. It's like, but real talk, what is it like? What's the hardest thing you've had to cope with?
Almost everything.
I think it's easier said than done. I think that's I don't know, like it's like even before we started the label, I was like, yeah, like, obviously, yeah, it's great, innit? Like, but like I was kind of in my head thinking, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. This artist, like it's almost just like everything just looks like it's all gonna be. Do you know what I mean? And then you get into, you start dealing with artists. You got the manager. There's this, there's that. There's so many different components to make one thing work. So like I could be like, yo, like Huss has got a song with, I don't know, like Jay-Z or whatever, and it's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, there isn't, by the way.
Yeah, no, just like, we're gonna and we want to put it out.
Certain people are ready to tweet that.
Yeah,
straight away.
No,
I wish.
That's not real. But like, it's like, yeah, let's just put it out. Like, let's just do it. And it's just like, wait, hold on a minute. There's this, there's that, there's this, and it's just like, oh god. And then you might get it out, and then there's another problem, and it's just like, I feel like we're just dealing with solutions every day.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we kind of like, yeah.
I think it's being in the corporate world and working.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah, the corporate world is a lot more different. While 2K, like I said, is like a lot of friends and family. If someone is slacking, it's more like, oh, come on, man. Like, and there's times where 2K management is a lot more different because you eat what you kill. So like, there's months where your artist might be out of cycle and you're just literally running through money. It might even get to a point where everyone's even working for free, but like we're a close-knit family where everyone is like understands what we're about and what we're going for. While the label, some people come 6 o'clock, they're out, and you can't blame them. It's like, this is just different from what I'm used to. It is a bit, especially Gen Z. Is there any Gen Z in here? Oh my God. Oh. Gen Z is the only thing I can say.
25 below, 25 and below.
25 below.
Is it? Oh yeah, calm down.
I think Gen Z for me, they're the epitome of I can't come and kill myself. Like, oh, it's not my company, it's not this. I finish at 6, bye. It's like, yes.
It's difficult working with you know, because when we was coming up, there was a lot of you have to work for free or you're doing a lot of stuff that doesn't
You're
make
talking
sense.
like it was 20 years ago.
No, but seriously. No, it's true though.
It's
It's true though.
crazy.
Like we was doing stuff that didn't even make sense, but it's just because we want to be next to this person, or do you know what I mean? But now the like Gen Z's coming up now, they're just like, this doesn't make any sense for me, and you're stressing me out as well on top of it. So I'm not doing it. You know what I mean?
I'm going home right now.
I'm going home.
Work from home. I want to work from home.
Work from home for the next.
I work better at home.
They tell you that
I'm not
they're
working
working
on-
home from home.
I'm not
because
working on
you're stressing
Fridays.
them out. Yeah.
Friday's my day off.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Don't call me after 6. Well, you got to release at 7. Like, it's like,
You know what? I've worked with these guys for years. This is like, it's like an episode of Black Mirror where it's just the reverse. Like, hear them talk, man. It's funny, man. Yo, Mikes, what have you learned from working with Kilo and Mo as a general manager? You know, like they got the hottest producer, they got hottest artist. Like you're in an invaluable position, you know, to build your whole skill set and everything else. Like, are you taking advantage of it? Like.
Yeah, I'll say I learned everything from these guys, you know, to be honest. So, because I've been there from the jump. I've been there from, you know, when, you know, Mo brought us down to Portsmouth, and he's like, yo, look at this guy. And then back then, even, you know, he's filling me with confidence, because I'm like, you know, I didn't even think music was a thing. The only people that were really doing music then were like Krypton Conan, Gigs, Timbo and that. But really and truly, there wasn't actually, you know, the market wasn't the same now. They wasn't really making that much money. So it was a dream to me. I was thinking, why would you not do this? This is like a pipe dream. Do you get what I mean? But then it's just like, it's just shows that how, you know, determined that these are, because, you know, they said, no, we're going to do it. And then everyone around them started thinking, yo, this can actually work. Do you know what I mean? And then it slowly turned into, you know, I'm seeing the late nights. These lot used to sleep in the studio, like legit shower, like stay there. I'd leave I had a graduate job. I'd leave the graduate job and come link them at the studio. I'm leaving at maybe 3 a.m. because I got to go back home and I got to catch that 7 a.m. train to go to my job.
Wow.
But these lot are still there. I'm calling them the next morning when I'm on my way to work, and they're still there. Do you know what I mean? So I've learned the you know, that the fact that they will go to anything to get what they need to get done, and just, you know, the rooms that they put me in, and, you know, I think sometimes we take it for granted just how kind of like how well we're doing, and we're very harsh on ourselves. But, you know, the guys have kind of put all of us, like, not even just themselves but their friends in very, like, you know, Patrick and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've put us in big positions. Do you know what I mean? So for me personally, I'm always grateful to these two personally.
So you're not one of them that leaves at 6 on the dot?
Nah. I'm with them until 7 a.m. the next morning every day. Do you know what I mean? So.
Okay.
It's cool to leave it. Like, it is cool though. I feel like we're here just saying, yo,
this is what the corporate building does.
It's okay.
So, if you want to leave at 6, it's fine. You could go
I'm
at
not
6.
forcing lower.
Oh, you see?
Got him speaking PG right now.
You see? Oh, yeah. You see? Oh, man.
Wow. So recently, I attended like the launch for one of your new artists, The Car. It was real inspiring to see the way you guys were presenting him, and, you know, the way that, you know, like, I've seen you guys grow in it. Like, I've seen, you know, from the very beginning. Well, not from the very beginning when we first started working together, but it's dope to see you go from management, finding your way, to having a full-scale management company with employees, and now you're a label, and now you're signing artists. And then, you know, the way that you launched The Car, you could feel the belief that you guys have for him, you know, backing him and everything. And for a new artist such as The Car, he's got, you know, he's got a team behind him that I don't think any other label could provide. You know, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. Like, oh shit, I'll pick up Glenn. Like, Glenn does his thing, innit? Like Glenn, I'm just trying to make him look good, man. Like, come on, man. Like, no, but seriously, like, the belief that you guys have got for Zakar, no one else, you know, no one else had that same belief. Otherwise, they would have tried to sign him or pick him up a long time ago. But between yourselves, and it's a dope project as well. Like it's really really good. It's it fits in. It fits in perfectly with where the scene is right now. So it's like it's got the elements of R&B, it's got the elements of, whether you call it Afro beats or Afro pop. It's a very very dope project for now. Was that the vision that you guys had, or is it more from the artist? Were you like, we need this? This is what we need to put out right now.
Do you know what? I think he's really really talented. And sometimes, like when you're working with artists, it's beautiful when like they kind of know what their direction they want to go down, and they're super talented. Like you just put them in the studio, and they're gonna come with something. Whereas like obviously there are times where you need to like get the right producer, or if they need a writer, or kind of make it happen. So like for him, it was like he's been doing music for like, how old is he? He's 18. I think it was 3 years.
But I think 16.
16. When we first signed him, we had like we had like 20 songs in the folder, and we were just like, yo, like this, the way like how he sounds now at 17 is crazy. Like I haven't heard an artist at that age that was as developed as that. So it was like, cool, like do your thing. We'll put you in the studio with like all the producers that we know, and like obviously J5 is heavily involved because he was the person that was like rooting for him to be signed. So the EP was kind of like just to showcase his diversity, and just to be like, yo, like we're not just gonna do the one song, 3 months, another song. I think it was like, you know what, here's a body of work, and we keep going, and then hopefully people are gonna come back to it and be like, oh shit, like he's sick. But like honestly, like it was like, you know what, these songs are good. They're really good. So it was like, let's just bundle like 5 songs together and put them out. 7 tracks. Yeah, I don't know if that answered your question though. I don't know if that answered your question.
I think it's a bit of both, because there's definitely way better songs, but I think his journey from 16 to 18, there was a bit of like give and take with it. Like there's certain songs that he was adamant that he wanted on the project, which, because this is where we argue a lot, because I'm very like management focused. Like I'm like, I know this is what he wants. This is his passion. Let's do something to make him happy. So the relationship is more like long lasting. While sometimes it's a bit more like, yeah, but we've spent this much. We need to.
Because that's what it was. It was more like, we knew that there was better songs, but he was like, I want to go with, because the last 2-3 songs we put out was like, you know what, do your thing. Like if you want to put these songs out, cool. But I always knew that, yo, we've got better songs, and sometimes let's just go with our best foot first, and everyone can see how sick you are. But at the same time, it was like, yo, starting off on a bad foot would have just made our relationship a bit.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, cool, have your songs, and
we'll
move on.
But the dope thing about this is the fact that you come from a management background, and you've had to deal with situations, even what you just said, Kilo, about, they call it reading the room or whatever. It's like the fact that you understood how to get across what you needed to get across with the artist. There's some people who set up labels and it just falls horribly because they don't know how to talk to people. Right? There's people doing labels today that still don't know how to talk to people.
It definitely helps a lot. Like a situation with Zakar, I think naturally in the music industry, like if you're shooting a video, there's always delays, things get pushed back, so much so that another song might get shot before your actual next release. And him and his manager came and sat us down and be like, yo, we feel let down. We feel like you're tricking us into putting this video out first. And I said, yo, stop right there, because I know exactly that feeling. And I've been there, but I'll be completely honest with you, that's not the case.
I'm so happy to hear this.
Because it was, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've been there, but that's not the case.
You've said those things.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing.
Yeah, I know.
The funniest thing about the label thing is that, there's a lot of, like, when you're a manager, you could kind of just move rogue and say stuff and be like, oh, we want this out, some crazy requests. And you go to the label and be like, yeah, I want this. And, like, you're talking nonsense, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you have to back it.
You have to back it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But now being on the other side, when these managers are coming, you're like, are you hearing what you're saying? This doesn't make sense. So it's just funny to see the other side. Like, we was once this stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's good to do this, man. Like, it's the journey so far. 2022, we will do this again in 5 years' time. It'll be totally different conversation. Yo, like for anybody who wants to apply for a job at 5K, or if there's any if there's any artists who, you know, they want to partner with a team that has got a dope experience working within UK rap and Afrobeats, like how do they get through to you? Where do they send music to?
Email, socials, just emails and socials majority of the time. I think 2K management on Instagram, 5K records on Instagram, same for Twitter. I think same handle across everything.
Okay. Hey guys, it's been amazing. Everybody, round of applause for 5K.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.